How how are you all? I hope you're doing great. You are listening to Edna, the voice behind this, and you are listening to Echoes. Basically, if it's your first time, Echoes by Edna is a soft place for my hard feelings. You know those hard feelings that we fail to express. So it's basically a series of my spoken reflections. That I write down my reflections, usually on my phone, and I share them in a spoken format. Some you may find like the poetic, or some are basically just honest thoughts that I draw from moments I have lived, moments I have felt deeply, moments I tend to go back and live again. I tend to have that kind of reflection and introspection. I sort of just go back in the moment, I relive it, I relive it. I feel like how did this moment actually make me feel, and I write about it, because of course sometimes a moment can make you feel a certain way but you're not able to express it immediately. So what I do, I usually go back to that moment. I don't know how I do it, but it's amazing. So here on Echoes, I just share pieces of myself. Sometimes they're poetic, like I said, but they're mostly memories, and they're just that it's just a combination of my thoughts and my words. So in general, they're just reflections of my emotions that I feel I could just best express if I speak about them. So if you have felt too much, if you're someone who feels too much, and when I say too much, it's not I mean that you're so emotional, but feeling too much is analyzing every emotion, being sentimental about every emotion around you or every feeling around you. That's what I mean. Especially for the way I understand it. Yeah. So I have done previous episodes. You can go check them out if you have not. You can give me your feedback. Do type in the comments. You can subscribe, share with somebody, and yeah, I guess we see how it goes. But for today, today's piece, I want to share from a moment I sort of didn't expect to carry with me for this long. I have to say, I reflected about this moment just a while back, but this comes from a feeling of, you know, long ago, like a year or two ago. It comes from a feeling of long ago, and something I feel like we don't talk about enough. You know, it's that kind of pain that comes when you sort of hurt someone you never meant to hurt. And I know we tend to hurt people, and we don't know that we're actually hurting people. Or we know that we're hurting people because, of course, you know how it would feel if you were the one in that position. But we don't do it intentionally. We don't do it with all these bad intentions. But we have to own up to our actions. We have to own up to the feelings that we cause others to feel. You know, so sometimes we become that very thing we saw we would never become, and it's not even out of cruelty or uh, because you're mean or rude, but sometimes you're just confused. Sometimes you're so unsure because life is just a journey and you're trying to figure it all out, and it's a lot, I can say. So the piece I am going to share today is called The Sting. Yep, I wrote it very recently and I came up with this title, The Sting. Yep, it goes, The Sting. Something is stinging at me, like not like a cat, but something venomous, like a hiss, a sudden fearful sting that reached my heart and spread slow and sharp like poison. I'm not even sure I know how that feels, but I can only imagine. My heart has fallen into a well I didn't even see it coming. It's not a deep one, but the regret soaked in it and the sorrow of pain caused, pain that echoes louder because it's not my own but of another. This one hurts differently when the ache belongs to someone precious. Oh, that one breaks. And now, this pain has grown still. My heart believes It was always meant to sting and carry guilt to my lungs, only to name it breath. Yet it's not breath. I think it's weight, and I feel it heavy. This is the ache of hurting another, a precious piece left on the sideline of something that was probably not yours, of something you didn't know how to hold rightfully. This one stings. Mm, that's how the piece goes. I'm still learning how best to read out my thoughts. When I'm alone in my room and I'm reading through all this, I feel I'm expressing it rightfully. But when I speak it out fully, I don't know, it just doesn't feel to. I feel like it doesn't bring the emotion I want it to bring. But of course, I'll always be sharing the links, or I share the format of a picture of the piece that I'm reading about in the video format on YouTube. So you can follow up with what I'm saying and try to connect with it in one way or another. Yeah, so this piece, the sting, it's I was just there and I was thinking about a certain period, a certain person that I felt I had non rightfully, this precious person that uh, I might have met sometime, and I was feeling like I really had this person, and we had people, like I said, unknowingly, we had them. Sometimes we realize the pain that we are leaving behind, but we can't do anything about it because once pain is there, honestly, to take it away, it's not you. It's not you who can take away pain if you're the one who has caused it. So this one honestly it gives me shivers because every time I think about it, I'm like, oh my god, the pain that we bring onto other people. That internal pain that we cause other people, the one we can't see. It just really hits differently when you think about it. When you think of how badly it would have hurt somebody, it stings so much. It feels like you're being bitten by a snake, and this pain, the pain of realizing that you have been a cause of another pain someone is facing. That kind of feeling, it just hits so differently, and you feel like you're being stung by a snake. So it's fearful because you're like, how did this person actually get through this? You feel cold. You're like, oh my god, did I actually do this? You know. So I'm not even sure how that feels. Like how it feels that a snake has bitten you. That sharpness. I only imagine that it's sharp. I've never been bitten by a snake, but I can only imagine. And the fact that I imagine it and relate it to something like this is beyond. It's beyond me. So my heart really fell down. It literally fell down, and I felt like it was just sinking somewhere, and it got wrapped and soaked into some sort of. Guys, that pain you inflict on somebody else, not a piercing, but a sharpness that you can't even see. It's so venomous, you guys, but it just hits differently. Because when that pain and that ache belongs to someone else, yeah, that one breaks. It stings and it sort of stays. Yeah. I hope you find a way of relating that. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening in. I am trying to really catch up with echoes, do the make sure that the pieces are right. I also come and voice them out. But life is just so 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 busy. But yeah, we're getting it done. Thank you so much. Echoes by Edna, and I remain, of course, your very, 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 very wonderful, very, very lovely Edna. Yeah, and I love you all. Bye bye.